With the NAACP are all monkeys.
Basically, yes.
Why would that be sickening?
That's why I call it white trash. They have a low esteem of themselves, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the scum of the earth. Because
only white trash would consider marrying a black.
That's exactly right. Exactly right, Bob.
John, what did you teach in school?
Pardon me?
What did you teach in school?
I taught all sciences.
Oh, thank God for a moment there. I was afraid it was English. Mary?
A lot of black friends, and she has a lot of white friends. There's a lot of white friends she doesn't like, and there's a lot of black friends she doesn't like. But she, I've tried to raise...
Your daughter has a lot of friends that she doesn't like. Yes, Lionel.
Get rid of the busy signal.
It's gone, Lionel.
What is this, Cretan Day? People calling up? Who can out-dumb the last caller? Is that it? Did I miss this today? The guy who was the teacher who called up is my favorite. Aside from not being able to...
Well, it'd be grateful he wasn't an English teacher.
That's what I was going to say. This man was a teacher? Children? Oh. Well, listen, the Chicken Rocky back out yet? I've been out of town. I haven't...
No, everybody's still on.
Well, one or the other. They call it the Lassiter Disaster.
No, the Lassiter Group.
Oh,
it may be called the Lassiter Disaster.
He's a sweet guy, though. When you take away the fact that the guy's got the mentality of a clam, when you take away this gruff demeanor, this inability to communicate without being drunk, when you take away this Neanderthal thinking and this Boeotian mentality, you have a miserable person. But aside from that, he's sweet, and I think I'd miss him, too. But like that were to leave, we would forget just how stupid they are in the first place.
Oh. Looking forward to seeing Rocky, Lionel, we're all looking forward on Friday to see exactly how it is that you pull this off, because everybody knows that you are Rocky.
I've heard that before.
Or another way to phrase it, Rocky is Lionel.
Well, this is going to be great.
Would you have two telephones that you'll be talking into?
Sure. This is going to be great. And we're also going to talk at the same time, too. Edgar Bergen couldn't even do this.
Well, we all know about tape.
Makes up words. Catch me in one word I make up, Bob.
Boeotian.
Want me to spell it for you?
I'd really be impressed.
You got a dictionary?
If I had a dictionary, I'd, get a job.
Capital, you want to know the word? Seriously, this word bothers you. Capital Boeotian. From Boeotia. People from Boeotia, where people were reputed to be dull and stupid. Look it up. It's a valid word.
Yeah, I know. Look it up in your Funk and Wagnall, right?
Yeah. Speaking of, anyway, Bob, just wanted to let you know that $10 says Rocky won't make it Friday.
$10 says Rocky won't make it Friday. I don't know that I'm that loose with my money.
Lily-livid dork doesn't have the guts, the gumption, and the mental acumen to handle what is about to happen to him on Friday.
Well, bring it down to a nickel. Let's make it a gentleman's bet, and I'll take the other side. Because I, too, have had pretty much the same thoughts.
Oh, he's not going to make it. And, of course, he's going to be bombed out of his mind. Bombed out of his mind as usual. Because the man doesn't have any guts unless he's drunk. Damn fool out of him. You hear that, Rocky? Call your proctologist, because when I get done with you, you're not going to be able to walk without a hemorrhoid cushion.
With you man to man, because you know more man than I am. I don't believe you. You may think you're bigger than I am, but you're not. But you see, I can fight with you on a physical basis, verbal basis, but the one time you start calling me nigger, that's the psychological thing that you try to attack me on. I have nothing you got, Bob, that I don't have. There's nothing you can get that I can't get.
George, thank you.
More of it.
I thank you very much.
Hey, you can't deal with me? Can you deal with me?
I did deal with you.
How do you deal with me?
I'll let you talk.
Oh, that's the way.
I like what I heard.
When you dealt with everybody else, you talk with them.
No, most people I just let talk.
Huh?
Most people I've just let talk, George.
Oh, no, that's not true. You dealt with Rocky. He's a nothing. He was a nothing until you made him that white racist bigot. You made him everything that he is.
That's right.
He should get paid every time he comes on your show. He should get paid, and we need people like that. He's a famous individual. And one of these days...
I quite agree we need people like Rocky.
When he comes in the hospital, I hope he comes to the hospital where I'm working at, so I can be his orderly or nurse or his doctor.
Well, wait a second. What makes you think I can't deal with you?
Huh?
Why would you even say that to me?
Because you see, your attitude is, oh, thank you, George. Thank you, George. I don't want your thank you. Hey,
why not? I think, well, George, you got a chip on your shoulder. I'm sitting here listening to you, thinking to myself, of all the people I've talked with this afternoon, this is probably the man who's made the most sense.
Tom is not a dummy. You know that because you wouldn't put up with him as much as you do.
Well, I put lots of dummies on the air, Brian.
Yeah, including me. I realize that. I stumble over my feet, and so does he. But in the long run, I'll have to take Tom's side on most of the questions. And I don't know him.
Oh, okay.
But I wish you would apologize to that man because I think you did him an injustice in this particular case.
Well, do me a favor. Hold your breath while you're waiting.
200th blacks there. And they have a different odor to their skin. A sweet odor. And it made me throw up. Black man gets angry. I've seen a lot of them. They jump up and down, pound their chest like a gorilla.
Really?
Honest to God, I've seen it.
Oh.
Pretty close related, probably.
Uh-huh.
So, what's the comment?
What's the comment?
Yeah.
No comment to that.
No comment?
No.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But they're a different type of people than the white men.
Uh-huh.
They're just different people. They have different blood pressures. They eat different food. Now, just let's keep it separate, okay?
Which different food do they eat?
Well,
What do they eat that's different from you?
well, they eat monkey meat. Out in the Congo River, I've seen it for sale in the stores.
Uh-huh.
They actually have monkeys hanging in the windows in the meat markets there.
Well,
Honest to God.
Of course, you appreciate that white people who live in
Thank
different
God I was
countries
born
have
white.
different diets than you. I was referring to black people here in this country.
Well, thank God I was born white.
Thank God you were born white? Why would you thank God that you were born white?
Because they were under a real handicap. Sitting on their butt. Twiddling their thumbs.
Uh-huh.
But I used to bring seeds to them.
Uh-huh.
To encourage them to plant seeds in their backyard.
Have you been to Appalachia recently?
Pardon?
Have you been to Appalachia recently?
Appalachia?
Yeah. So all kinds of white people sitting on their butts, too.
No. Well, there's a hell of a lot of blacks sitting on their butt, too.
A hell of a lot of whites sitting on their butts, too. One doesn't say anything.
They've had the greatest advantage in the world. For the last 2,000 years, they have more advantage than the Polacks and the Swedes.
I'm a very rational being. And I don't think your position is very rational because you haven't offered any realistic alternatives to this threat.
Well, I would be one of those people,
war with the Soviets is an alternative to a threat that I perceive that you don't agree is there. I take it you don't agree is there.
Well, sir, I would suggest war if I believed the threat was as imminent as you would have me believe. Yes, I would. I'd like to save the country.
You would suggest war
if I believe the threat.
Over the fact that they are wanting to spread their communism and are spreading it into Central American countries. You would suggest us going to war with them?
If I believed it to be an imminent threat to the security of this nation, yes, I would, sir, wouldn't you?
No, I would not under the circumstances. I would not do that because we can stop it short of that. We don't have to do that. And I don't think it's responsible to do that. And I think you would be the one who'd be irresponsible to take this kind of a step unnecessarily when we have...
That is an insult to my intelligence. And it ought to be an insult to yours, too. If the Soviet Union so desired to spread terrorism in the southwestern United States, they don't need Central America to do it. And anybody that thinks they do is an ass. Plain and simple. Sick and tired, so fed up with you right-wing lunatics looking under every bed for a commie. You want to find commies? Look around you. Basically, they talk to morons. But at least they're smart enough to realize when they're not talking to a moron.
President, a stuffed antique monkey. Okay, and lo and behold, I got home from work the other day and found the monkey throwing a ball up against the garage, denting the siding. So I figured he must have been listening to you. So I ended up taking him down.
Yeah, but he's a happier monkey now.
Went swinging.
He's a much happier monkey now for having done that. And if you had joined him, I mean, can you imagine? Suppose you had gone out there into left field and you had the monkey throw the ball up high against the side of the house If you do it just the right way, it arcs back just like a pop fly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have even had a game with him. You know, if it drops in front of you, it's a single. If it drops behind you, it's a home run. You could have kept score. You and the monkey could have had a great time. But nah, you, the stick in the mud that you are, what do? You worry about some dents in the aluminum siding and take the monkey to the park.
Right. So he went swinging.
Oh, brother.
Good night, say, Bob.
Thank you,
And keep
George.
up the good work.
Take care. UFLA. It's fine with me. I don't care. Where is it? Where? Ah, here it is. I'll just put it right in the old cart machine. Get it ready for any calls that might still come in this hour. Here we go. This is what we are dealing with. Get the drift? Go outside tonight about 8 o'clock and look up in the sky. You'll see what the problem is. Why do I do these things to myself? What the hell? I'll continue the lecture. I've got 4 minutes left. We had some squads out there on the street just roaming around with cattle prods, and every time they saw a black person being disrespectful to a white person, you know, they just kind of give them a little poke with a cattle prod.
Something to Carol in medical definition.
Oh, wait, whoa. No, we don't pass messages back and forth to callers, do I?
Your focal point in all your conversation today was, would you marry a black man? Well, now let me ask you,
I didn't realize that was the focal point, but...
Will you marry a white woman?
I'm not a black man, Celia.
You are not a black man?
No, Celia.